Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you're starting to get back on, and we'll start this one more time.
Okay, should we give them a minute to get back on?
Yeah.
Okay. We just got a little too crazy with so much technology. We blew up the system.
Okay, we have about 20 people on. I think we're good. And we're recording. Okay, we're not going to start completely over, but we are going to start just a little over so that the recording has this. So welcome to the webinar. This is Essential Oils for Chakra Balancing. I'm Arin Fugate.
And I'm Gabe Fugate, take two.
Take two. And we are essential oil educators. We love traveling the world teaching people about essential oils, and we actually get to do it as a married couple, which is really fun. So essential oils have been a big part of my life for a very long time, since I was a little kid. And for Gabe, I think they're a little bit newer. You kind of knew about them for a while. And when we were designing this webinar, you know, I know a lot about essential oils, but I didn't know very much about chakras. Of course, I am a yogi and I've heard about them, but to really be able to explain chakras to you, I needed to bring in an expert. So I invited Gabe to come and share his expertise with us. He is actually a very talented energy healer. Is that what you would call that? Yeah. So he knows a lot about the subtle energies of the body. He's a CrossFit level 1 instructor, and he studied yoga with an Indian master in India. So he has a lot of knowledge about the body systems, the energy of the bodies, and especially chakras. So I'm going to let him start off this amazing webinar.
Thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.
So yeah, the thing that I really want to focus on right now is kind of giving everybody on the call, on the webinar here, a little background on what chakras are. And for some of you, this might be a little bit of a review. For some of you, this might be totally new. And I just want to urge this thought forward before I start, that this is an ancient understanding. This comes from India, and it's thousands of years old, this chakra system, and it's been in a lot of different cultures. And the thing that I want to encourage you to try to understand before we even go in any kind of depth into this is that there is a spiritual component to this system, but it's not a religious component. There's a big difference. So there isn't a religious dogma or anything like that surrounding this. This is just a belief system that has a spiritual component, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're a part of Hinduism or any kind of religion. Yoga is actually separate from Hinduism completely. They're not the same thing at all. So I just want to encourage any of you that might be really strictly religious or you know, locked into a certain not locked into, but appreciating a certain kind of religion, that you can also appreciate the chakras and not feel like you're doing something wrong. So,
Gabe, I don't know if this is true, but I remember when I took a philosophy of yoga class once, they actually were saying that there's some Catholic nuns that study the yoga and study the chakras, and they just kind of were pointing out how yoga is actually pretty awesome that way.
Totally.
Because you can overlay it onto whatever your particular spiritual beliefs are. So we like to just open space for that, everyone that's on the webinar, whether you believe in God or the universe or Ganesh, whatever it is, yoga can really be just an adjunct to that, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a religion.
Yeah, so there's Hindus that pray to Ganesh, that understand the chakras and use them in their daily life. There's Muslims, there's Christians, there's Buddhists, all types of people of all types of walks of life that appreciate and gain a lot of happiness from understanding the chakra system. So let's talk about it a little bit. This picture, I don't want to read this to you guys, but I just wanted to give you a nice visual representation of kind of where the chakras are. And we'll go into that a little bit, but you can notice by looking at this that we've got in the bottom, in the base there, we've got red, and then above that's orange, then yellow, green, blue, indigo, and then violet. And so these are the colors associated with the chakra. Now, with the 7 major chakras. So what I really want to kind of paint this picture for, or what I want to show you, is that, you know, if you think about a rainbow or a prism that's splitting light, you've probably seen that in maybe a science class or something. You know, when you take just pure white light and put it through a prism, it splits into the 7 colors of the rainbow. And that's similar to what happens when you see a rainbow and the moisture refracting the light. So it goes in these 7 colors, and it's the same color spectrum that you see on the chakras. There's these same 7 colors come out of that. And what's really interesting to me is that when scientists look at and study the light wave, each of these parts of the spectrum, so you've got red, orange, yellow on up, each of these parts of the spectrum from the light wave have a different frequency that they vibrate at. So the red on the rainbow, on that light spectrum, is the lowest vibration. It's a slower, deeper vibration. You could think of, if you're musically inclined, you could think of a bass note. And the orange is a little bit faster vibration, the yellow even faster, all the way on up to the violet being the fastest, highest vibration. And so sometimes when people talk about chakras, they'll talk about their vibratory properties. And I just want to give you that background to help you understand that in our world, it's becoming more and more and more accepted, even though it's been shown through science years ago, that energy is a very, very real part of our life and our reality and the universe and the nature of the universe. So when you talk about quantum physics absolutely adopts and has proved that we're mostly energy. And so, you know, if you're still kind of grappling with or trying to understand the idea of energy or subtle energy, really great way to think about it or understand it is actually your thoughts. A thought can produce a hormonal secretion in your body, which can change your physiology. There's lots of examples of that happening. So you can just think about that as a very real thing that happens in our lives all the time. You might hear a song that elicits a specific emotion, and that emotion can maybe have tears happen or other things happen in your body. So, you know, your physical body is definitely controlled by energy.
Smell.
And smell, absolutely, which we'll be talking about some smells today. So that's a little bit of, like, you know, some interesting connections between like science and chakras and energy. I would encourage you to learn more. Just go online. A really great resource that I love and is really interesting is this place called Spirit Science. They have all these little cute video cartoons that they explain this kind of stuff. So there's one on chakras that's awesome. So anyway, so we've got the 7 major chakras here. So the root chakra is this red one at the bottom. And this is really connected to survival, security. This is more the primal, you know, just feeling, you know, taken care of, like you've got your basic needs met. That's kind of the root chakra. And it's right there kind of at the base of the spine, just below the sacrum. And chakra, the word actually is a Sanskrit word that means wheel. And so you can kind of think of the chakras as these spinning wheels, and they actually put out energy and take energy in. So depending on your surroundings and what's happening, you know, you could think about that example of hearing a song. You might be taking energy in from that song into one of these chakras. And then it's also putting energy out into your body and out into the world as well. So it's a really interesting process. The second chakra up is the orange one, and this is the abdomen or the sacral chakra, and it's kind of right at the sacrum. And this chakra is really connected to emotions, energy, and creativity. And especially sexual energy is a big part of this chakra. And then on up, you've got the third chakra, which is the solar plexus. And these all have Sanskrit names, but we don't need to go over those today. The solar plexus is that bright yellow, like a banana yellow. And this chakra is really, really connected to your power and your personal power and ego as well. And so if you have that feeling in your gut, you get a feeling in your gut, that's your third chakra talking to you. So pay attention. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra. And this chakra is that bright spring green, that color. And this is, this chakra of love and balance and compassion. And, I think a lot of us could use some strengthening there in our lives. And then above that, we've got the throat chakra, the fifth chakra, which is kind of like a sky blue. And this really is connected to speech and self-expression. So if you're feeling like you're not able to speak what's on your mind, or, you're held back from talking, this could be a chakra that you need to work with. Then we've got the sixth chakra, which is that deep indigo color. And this is also known as the third eye, which everybody's probably heard of the third eye. And this is responsible for imagination. And even though the second chakra down there is really a lot about creativity, the third chakra is as well. You've got imagination, which is very creative, and then your psychic abilities. And I think that all of us have some kinds of psychic abilities, and we just might not be so in touch with them. So, and then above that, we've got our seventh chakra, which is this violet color, and it's called the crown chakra. And this is really the spiritual energy center. So these are the 7 major chakras. Now, there are some other minor ones, and you can dive in more and learn all about this kind of stuff, but these are the ones we're going to focus on for today. And I just wanted to say that one thing you can do to really help, we're going to talk about using the oils with these chakras, but another thing you can really do to help the chakras is eat foods that support them. So you can just think about the colors. It's really simple. If you want to strengthen your heart chakra, eat greens. And if you know anything about nutrition, you know that eating greens is great for your heart and your cardiovascular system. If you want to strengthen the root chakra, eat red foods like beets. Those are going to really, and beets are a root. It's interesting. So you can kind of think of things that way. That can really help. And then also working with those colors. So if your bedroom is completely bright yellow and all your sheets are bright yellow and most of your clothes are bright yellow, you probably have a little bit of an imbalance in your third chakra. It's probably overpowering the other ones. So, working with those colors, wearing colors of a certain chakra that you want to emphasize that day is a great way to help strengthen and work with those chakras. And then, of course, you can get into all sorts of stuff like using different crystals and that kind of stuff. It's a little more esoteric, but we're working with that kind of stuff today a little bit. So see, that's kind of a little basic background on the chakras. I hope that's helpful.
Would there also be certain yoga stretches that balance different chakras, or certain breathing exercises? Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of practices working with visualizing those wheels, the chakras, and the colors associated with them, and using breathing and drawing in prana, which is the yoga word, the Sanskrit word for energy, similar to like Reiki or Chi, same kind of thing. It's like a life force energy. So you can work with pranayama, which is breathing practices that can help bring more energy into your body and nourish all the chakras. Something that I do kind of, and I don't even think about it, but I was raised with the awareness of energy and chakras, is I will imagine my chakras opening like a flower, kind of like blooming like a rose, especially if I am teaching a class or I'm out in public or I'm around a lot of people, because then I feel like I'm moving my energy out. Mm-hmm. But then at night, when I go to sleep, I can kind of feel like my chakras coming, almost like shutting down, closing in. So are you blooming right now? Yeah, I'm blooming. Cool. Chakras blooming. And then have you guys ever had it happen where you maybe have a upsetting experience, or you're in an environment with some toxic people? For me, especially, like if I have to go into a hospital, it can be really upsetting to me to be around all the sickness and struggles that way. So I'll actually imagine like a sword going whoosh, up my chakra. But it's like I feel like I cut my ties then with anything that I've taken on or any connections I've made, because I believe that I'm a healer and an empath. And if you were on Rose's webinar a couple of days ago, she talked a lot about being an empath. And so I have to be careful with that. And people will often say, gosh, I feel so good when I'm around you. I just feel inspired when I'm around you. And I think that's my job for sure, to be that kind of inspirational force. But then I have to remember to take my energy back. And sometimes, yeah, to cut the cords.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. And I think it's really especially cool that you use the word cords, because there is definitely times when you can be connected to somebody through an energetic cord, so to speak. The best example is a mother and child. Everybody's had some experience in their life where they've seen or been a part of a situation where a mother knew something had happened to their child, even though they weren't there to see it or hear it. And that maybe happens with siblings too. And those are healthy, good cord connections. You know, a mother and child should be connected to help with survival and all that kind of stuff. But there's other people in our lives that sometimes can stick their cords into us and get kind of globbed on to our energy. And it happens to all of us. And it's a really great thing to think about, just visualizing cutting away those unnecessary cords. You don't have to be connected to people that you haven't allowed that to happen or don't want that. So it's a good thing to do, is to clear off those cords that might be draining you. So, yeah, let's move on.
So we're going to talk about the essential oils and ways to use essential oils with the chakras, but we want to just go over the basics for anybody that might be on the webinar that's brand new to essential oils. So this purple alien looking picture, that is not a chakra. That is actually a peppermint leaf. And those little gray blobs, those are the fluid-filled sacs where we find the essential oils. So essential oils are nature's defense mechanism for plants and cells. They're the natural aromatic compounds found in the seeds, barks, roots, flowers, and other parts of the plants. And what's important to know is that one drop, you know, if I take one drop of that peppermint oil, that is the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So the oils are extremely powerful. We're going to talk a lot about oils today, so I'm not going over the oils on this slide, but that can be interesting for you to explore as we cruise through. So why are essential oils so effective? Well, what's amazing about essential oils is they work at the cellular level and they actually protect our cells. Essential oils are nutrients that can pass through or penetrate the cell membrane, and their unique chemical structure allows oils to pass directly through the skin for immediate systemic response to topical application. So as we apply these essential oils to our chakras, not only are they working on the energetic level, but they are going into our body and being processed through our blood system and into our cells. We can use essential oils in 3 ways. Aromatically is a wonderful way to affect your mood. You can just inhale the essential oil, or you can use a diffuser as pictured here on this slide. The aromatic use of essential oils cleans the air and it supports our breathing. I actually anointed myself with the essential oils for the chakra, and I am smelling geranium coming off of my heart right now, so it's wonderful. We can use the essential oils topically. Remember, they're powerful. You only need 1 drop, and that 1 drop can service every cell of your body. So when you put oils on the bottom of your feet, it will nourish your bloodstream within 30 seconds. You can apply them to the feet, the ears, that's a great place for emotions, the chest, and then you're hitting your heart chakra, the back of the neck, head, or any troubled areas. Now, some people will have sensitive skin, or you might be working with an oil that is hot, so you can always dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. Now, because we have really pure oils with the doTERRA oils that we work with, we can use them internally. So you can add a drop to water. We have probably some lemon or wild orange in our water.
Sure.
Yeah. Make sure it's a glass, not plastic, because plastic essential oils will eat the petrochemicals in plastic, and then you're taking that into your body. When we take oils internally, they can nourish the whole body, including the digestive system, the mouth, the throat, the liver, and the urogenital tract. We've talked a little bit about doTERRA essential oils, and I just want to touch on why both Gabe and I have chose these oils to use and to teach people about, and why we've really partnered with doTERRA. And it's truly because of their certified pure therapeutic grade. You'll actually see that almost completely blue circle over there, and that represents all the essential oils in the world. The blue part, those are synthetic. Most essential oils that you can find at the health food store, the herb store, you can even buy essential oils at like Walmart these days. They're not pure. They're synthetic aromatic compounds created in a laboratory. We want pure essential oils from plants. And on top of that, we want them to be tested so that we can be sure of their therapeutic quality. So that little orange sliver there, that's actually the essential oils that come from doTERRA, the certified pure therapeutic grade. It means that plants are grown and oils are harvested in their natural habitat. The CPTG establishes a standard of completely natural purity. Each batch of oil undergoes multiple third-party testing to certify purity, and they're the purest oils you can find in the world today. It's quite amazing what doTERRA is doing when it comes to sourcing and testing. On top of that, we take care of the people who grow the plants that make our oils. We're making sure that growers are organized into cooperatives, that they have teachings and trainings, and that they can have capacity building, and their services are coordinated. We're helping them improve their growing and harvesting practices to achieve optimal oil yield and ensure sustainability. Consistent higher quality oil, growers also receive fair and predictable pricing from a long-term buyer. This picture here is Emily Wright, one of the owners of doTERRA, connecting with a Nepalese woman after the earthquakes. When something happens in an area where we source our oils, like in Nepal, we get our wintergreen from there, we go in and we help the people. doTERRA brought tons of relief aid. They brought money, housing, food, and they've really helped the Nepalese people to rebuild. We could have gone and purchased our wintergreen from another source. It comes from China, and it's pretty good wintergreen actually. But because we have a relationship with these Nepalese people, we were dedicated to helping them get back on their feet and helping them to have a successful business so that they can feed their family and educate their youth. So that is a little bit about essential oils and why we choose doTERRA. And what Gabe and I did a couple of months ago, I guess, we got invited to put a booth at our friend Cornflower's concert. And Cornflower's a really amazing musician and beatboxer, and he wanted an interesting experience for his concert attendees. So Gabe and I thought, well, it'd be great to do a chakra balancing. And we sat down and we figured out what essential oils would go with each chakra. So I'm gonna let Gabe kind of talk a bit about that, and then we'll go into detail about each of the oils.
So you can see that the 7 major chakras are represented here by those little glowing bubbles of colored light up the central channel, up the spine. And so at the bottom, we chose Myrrh for the root chakra. And, you know, like this is your basic trust chakra, you know, your primal stuff, you're getting your thing, you know, your creature comforts and everything covered, food and shelter and all that. And so Myrrh is very much like the mother oil, has that kind of mother energy. It's thick and
we're going to go into detail.
Yeah, we'll go into more of that. So and so we have patchouli for the sacral chakra, wild orange for the solar plexus. That's that gut feeling chakra. The heart chakra, we chose geranium, the love, healing. And, you know, another great one for this is rose, but not everybody has rose oil. So geranium is a good one. And then the throat chakra, we chose lavender. The third eye is really all about sandalwood. And then we capped it off at the top there in the crown chakra with frankincense, the king of oils. So we're going to go into detail about each of those, but it's nice to have this visual.
Mm-hmm. And this is really designed to be, before this webinar, Gabe and I both put the oils on. I went through and anointed each chakra. Gabe made a blend of all the oils. You could also work with a particular chakra if you start to realize that one is out of balance. But let's go over these oils. So we're going to start from the crown and work down. We chose frankincense essential oil. This is an amazing oil. If you have your oils with you, go ahead and take a drop of frankincense. And you can rub that together, take a deep inhale. Even put it on your crown chakra. So frankincense comes from resin, and it is sourced in Somalia. Some amazing sourcing practices going on there. You can take 1 to 2 drops of frankincense in a veggie cap to support healthy cellular function. It's great after a day of outdoor activity. Just massage frankincense into your hands and feet for a warming and soothing effect. It's also wonderful to rejuvenate skin, so you can put it in your moisturizer or make a toner. We chose frankincense for the crown chakra because frankincense is actually an oil that you'll find in a lot of spiritual texts. The Bible, it's in a lot of ancient Chinese medicine documentation, Hindu documentation. And frankincense has a very sacred association. If you were raised in the Catholic Church, you instantly will remember that smell. It reminds us of Christmas. And physiologically, it has an effect on our pineal gland. And our pineal gland can really connect us to source and the universe and God and whatever our true calling is. So just placing that frankincense on the top of your head will really open you up to deeper spiritual awareness.
It's a great oil to use with meditation if you do meditate.
Just smelling it instantly kind of makes me relaxed and feel really connected.
So sandalwood is what we have for the third eye, for that third eye chakra, and that's the imagination and psychic center. And sandalwood promotes a healthy looking smooth skin and reduces the appearance of skin imperfections. It can enhance your mood. It's frequently used in meditation as well for its grounding and uplifting properties. You can use it in your hair to help restore moisture and give it a silky shine. And this oil is safe for aromatic, topical, and internal use. And so, sandalwood is a big, it's something that's used a lot in India. And they actually use, they'll make these wreaths out of sandalwood. I'm not sure what part of the tree they use. It might be the leaves. But they'll make these like leis out of sandalwood. And they'll use them for all sorts of stuff, from welcoming. I actually got a sandalwood lei when I arrived in India. And then I know they use sandalwood a lot in different parts of India for funeral services and that kind of stuff. So it's very interesting. And so sandalwood can really help to open that third eye and really help you work with that psychic energy center and the imagination. And it's just an amazing aroma. It's one of my favorite oils. And it's great for guys too, because it's not super flowery. So a lot of guys like this. And so one thing you can do is you can just get some on your finger and then just anoint that third eye, that root, or that third eye chakra right there.
And this is a great oil to use if you have to make a decision, a really big decision, or if you have a creative project, you're wanting to tap into that intuitive part of yourself. You can do that rubbing of the third eye, smell that sandalwood, and then really notice how your intuitive center will open more and more, and the answer will just be there. Mm-hmm. So we chose lavender for the throat chakra. Lavender is a flower. It can help to ease feelings of tension. It soothes occasional skin irritations. You can add a few drops of lavender to your pillows, bedding, or the bottoms of your feet before a restful night's sleep. And you can add it to water to soak away stress. So I love taking a lavender bath. We also use lavender if we feel a little too amped, energetic. Gabe's really sensitive to caffeine. So if he does have a cup of coffee, he can just put the lavender straight under his tongue and it calms him down. We chose lavender for the throat chakra because there's an exercise that I really love to do and teach people. And this is when you're trying to find your voice. You're trying to figure out your why. You're trying to be available to public speaking. You can actually take a drop of lavender and then you apply it to your throat by going from your heart and up. And you do that a couple of times as you're just trying to allow yourself to release whatever words are inside of you. So I do this sometimes before I'm speaking in front of an audience. And it really helps me to get what's in my heart up and out of my mouth and out of my throat chakra. I love it. The oils make me happy.
I'm so glad that I get to talk about geranium because I just love this oil right now. When I first smelled it, I didn't like it and I didn't want anything to do with it because it's very strong. It's a very strong oil. If you use it in a blend, it's going to basically take over the aromas in the blend. So one drop goes a long way. Geranium is steam distilled. It's the whole plant. So it's got the flowers, the stems, the leaves, the roots, everything. And you can apply it directly to skin or enjoy an aromatherapy steam facial to help beautify your skin. Under your arms after a sweaty workout or a day in the sun. It's great deodorant. Combine with fractionated coconut oil to give your partner a sensual massage. Ooh.
Oh, I want to say something about that. So anyone who's trying to get pregnant or have a baby, a practice that you can do is before you go to bed at night with your partner, you rub each other's lower back with geranium. I know this is one of those things that have just been passed on by essential oilers for a lot of years. I have no idea how it works or if it works or why it works. Mm-hmm. But try that. If you're trying to get pregnant, give each other a little lower back massage with geranium every night.
And then isn't there you can use sandalwood on the perineum to help increase male energy?
Mm-hmm. That's another webinar.
Yeah, okay. Geranium, this is for we're using this oil in the chakra system for the heart chakra. And it's just awesome. You can use it in shampoo or conditioner to help your hair have a healthy, vibrant glow. It's totally safe for aromatic, topical, even internal use. I actually have put geranium in protein shakes before, and it's awesome. I love geranium. I've been using this so much. And I just encourage anybody who's maybe not sure if they like the smell of geranium or they haven't worked with it to just open a bottle and try using it. Because when you get it out of the bottle and onto your skin, it definitely changes. It's pretty strong though. So one of my favorite things to do is geranium with patchouli together. And those two are a great blend, or geranium with any of the other wood oils is just an awesome way to go. And so this oil can really help with opening that heart center, opening that heart chakra. And when I apply this, I apply it right here to my sternum, to heart chakra. And I always try to think about opening up to more love and more abundance and more happiness. And then also not only opening up to that, but giving that out into the people in my life. So geranium is just the perfect one for the heart chakra.
So if you have your geranium, go ahead and apply a little bit to your heart chakra.
And if you think about the heart chakra is that green color, and if you look at the geranium plant, which you're seeing in this slide, there's just a lot of green happening there. And that's really that heart color.
True. So wild orange, one of our favorites. This is the essential oil that we often give out as a sample to people who are experiencing oils for the first time. And we've chosen wild orange for the solar plexus chakra. Wild orange comes from the Dominican Republic. The oil is actually cold pressed from the rind. It's great for your immune system. You can use it in natural cleaning products, and you can diffuse it whenever you want an energizing and revitalizing aroma. Plus, we love putting it in our water. Mm-hmm. Now, we chose The wild orange, because of the color, is one big reason. Whenever I think of that area, solar plexus and sacral, it's these oranges and these reds and sunset kind of colors. So we really wanted that to be experienced. Plus, when you smell wild orange, you can't help but feel happy and empowered and ready to just move through your life. It's a really wonderful oil when you want to feel inspired and empowered.
And that chakra, the solar plexus, the gut, has a lot of relationship to your personal power and your ability to, feel confident in a group or maybe speak in front of a group. And so wild orange is a great one to put on before that. And you can just take a couple drops and then just put it under your shirt right on that solar plexus, kind of at the base of the ribs and on the tummy.
And interesting enough, wild orange is good for the digestion.
Yeah.
If I have a tummy that's kind of upset, I'll mix wild orange and peppermint and just rub it over my belly, and it works great. Oh, this is also your favorite. Look at you.
They're all my favorite, but patchouli is similar to geranium. My experience with patchouli is that I didn't like it when I smelled it, and it always was associated with hippies or something, and I just thought, who would ever use this patchouli oil? Like, I didn't. But then when I started working with it and getting it out of the bottle, and I really started working with it when I was mixing it with geranium, those two are that's one of my favorite blends. I probably need to work on those chakras, is why I'm using those. But together they're awesome. And patchouli has this interesting history where it was the patchouli leaves, like you can see on the slide here. Those leaves were laid in between ancient Chinese silk. So when the Chinese they were the only ones that knew how to do silk the way they did it, and it was a secret that was guarded. And so in the silk trade, Chinese silk was really revered, and they would put those patchouli leaves between the folds of the silk when they were exporting it to stop the moths from eating the silk and destroying the beautiful fabric. So the patchouli can kind of dispel some of those pests. And so that smell became associated with fine Chinese silk. It's really interesting. And so it had this whole luxurious thing, and then it's kind of changed, and now it's back. So I love patchouli. So this comes from the leaf, our patchouli oil, and the extraction, it's steam distilled. It's very herbaceous, and it's a wonderful aroma. You can diffuse it to help ground and balance your emotions, and it promotes a smooth, glowing complexion. And you can use this aromatically, topically, and yes, internally. It's very interesting internally. I encourage you to try it. It's in the peppermint family, I believe. And this is the one we've chosen for the sacral chakra, and I think patchouli definitely activates that area and can really help you work with that sacral chakra, which is really connected to creativity and sexual energy as well, and it's just an awesome oil for that place.
And something I want to point out, we've been talking about, you can actually anoint the chakras with the oils, you can make a blend, you can diffuse the oils to balance the chakra, but you can also just put the oil on your hand and hold it over the chakra, kind of like you're giving yourself Reiki. And if you don't know what Reiki is, that's just sending loving, light, healing energy to the area. So because the sacral chakra and the root chakra, it may not be appropriate for me to reach in my pants when I'm out and about, right? And so I can just hold that energy over that area. And the essential oils are aromatic, so they're still going to be accessing, especially the energy body.
And I think just to add to that, Arin, I think it's really interesting because when you talk about Reiki, in a nutshell, Reiki is just healing energy directed through the hands. And so my belief is that an essential oil is really the concentrated energy of the plant. And so it's this energetic signature. And so when you open a bottle of essential oil, it's just like energy is coming out of it. And so if you're rubbing that onto your hands and then holding it and directing some energy into your chakra, well, you're directing that energy that's coming through your body and through your hands, but then it's also amplified by the energy of the essential oil that's on your hands too. So I think it's a really great way to to experience Reiki. And I would encourage anybody to try it, just trying to connect with that. You don't need to have a certification or anything to figure out how to just hold energy through your hands. So
yeah, the next time I like to do it at night, actually, with my heart. I just will hold my hands over my heart and send loving kindness to me. Mm-hmm. And that's a great way for you to experiment with Reiki energy. Sounds like we might need to do a webinar on Reiki and essential oils.
And if anybody's interested in Reiki, you can get a certification for Reiki level 1, I think in a weekend. And it's really great to do because not only does it teach you more about how to use Reiki through your hands, but it also, you go through a energy cleanse where you're giving yourself Reiki every day for, I think 30 days on all the chakras basically. And it's really, if you want to up level the energy inside your body, it's a great way to do it. And it's a great self-love practice. And so if there's a Reiki master in your town, there's Reiki people all over, I would definitely check it out. It's great.
I kind of want to give myself Reiki with these oils on every chakra as like a meditation. I'm going to try that.
You might just fly off the planet.
Okay, this is our last oil, Myrrh. And like we said earlier, we chose Myrrh because Myrrh is considered the mother oil. It's connected to Mother Earth. It's a very resinous, thick oil. The aroma is really smoky, hot, herbaceous, woody, and dry. So we think that this is a really great oil to fortify your root chakra. Myrrh is powerful. It has powerful cleansing properties, especially for the mouth and throat. It's soothing to the skin, promotes a smooth, youthful-looking complexion, and it promotes emotional balance and well-being. So myrrh is another one of those sacred oils that you can find in the Bible, in the ancient Vedic texts, in Chinese medicine texts. It is just an oil that has, and a plant that's been used for a long time for not only spiritual benefits, but also wellness in the body. And the myrrh tree is absolutely beautiful. Google an image of the myrrh tree. It's white, and it looks a lot like the frankincense tree, hence the resin, but it is just a ghostly, beautiful tree. And there's kind of a myth that goes along with myrrh. And it's actually believed that myrrh was once a woman that walked the earth, and something happened to her. I can't remember how the story goes, but she was turned into a myrrh tree. So if you're interested in those kind of herbal lores, look up herbal lore of myrrh. So if you have your myrrh oil, you can take a drop. It does take a while to get it out, so sometimes I just hit the bottle to get it out. And then that's for the root chakra. Now, we also chose myrrh because myrrh is sensitive enough that you could actually apply it to this sensitive area of your body. We often say, watch out for essential oils in sensitive areas, like don't use peppermint and then go to the bathroom. But myrrh is actually so soothing that you absolutely could apply it to those sensitive areas down in the root region of your body. I love that aroma.
And I think it's really interesting. I mean, frankincense and myrrh almost always go hand in hand. They have a long, rich history. And I think it's just great to cap off the ends of the 7 chakras with myrrh and frankincense at the top. I think it's perfect.
I feel pretty amazing right now.
Yeah.
We have used all these oils. They're just making me really happy. So we want to make sure that anyone who's on the webinar, if you don't already have access to these amazing doTERRA essential oils, please get with the person who invited you so they can get you connected to getting a starter kit, having your own essential oils. And we wanted you to know that when you activate a wholesale account with Gabe or myself or anyone on our in our Jasmine and Juniper tribe, you get a lot of free goodies. So you're going to get access to our members only section of our website, where we have weekly calls, monthly webinars, and tons of awesome resources. You will get a free reference guide so that you can learn all about the essential oils in the comfort of your own home. We have a weekly educational teleclass where we cover 1 oil a week, and the telephone number is on the screen here. It's Mondays at 10 a.m. You just dial 503-388-5253, and you can listen to that weekly call. or go and hear the recordings at jasmineandjuniper.com in the members only section. We also have this monthly webinar with special topics like non-toxic cleaning, or next month we're talking about essential oils for the athlete. And you will get an essential oil mentor who will be with you every step of the way. Plus you get access to our private Facebook support group. So be sure to send us an email or a message, go to our website. We can get you connected with the right person.
And we have a texting reminder, right? So if you want to be a part of those calls, those 10 a.m. calls, and you just need a reminder, we have a texting service. So if you text to 313131, if you just text oils, that will get you, it will send you a reminder on Monday about the call, which is awesome.
Text 313131 with the words oils and jasmine. So it's just text oils jasmine to
313131.
Yeah. And we'll put that in the chat right now. So we want to open it up for questions. I know we're right at the top of the hour, but we did have technical difficulties at the beginning. So Gabe and I are happy to hang around for another 10 minutes and answer your questions. All right, so let's go here and just see what people are saying. Okay, Alice Becker asks, some of those oils bought elsewhere state that they are pure oils with no fillers or synthetics. Awesome question, Alice. So my recommendation for you, if you are searching for what essential oil company you want to go with, is to call the company and ask them about their testing procedures. What doTERRA does is they have third-party testing. It means it's out of house. Plus the essential oils get tested at different touch points. They get tested at the grower, at the distiller, then once they come into the United States, they get tested again before they ever make it to doTERRA's warehouse. And then again, they're tested before they ever make it to our house. So many touch points of very intense testing. And we want to test because not only can oils be adulterated, but sometimes oils will have other plants in the distillation process or parts of the plants. And sometimes the oil is grown in a part of the world where the plant does not throw a balanced constituent recipe, and therefore it's not as therapeutic. So pure oils, strongly potent, powerful oils, they're few and far between, and I have not found anything like doTERRA.
And I think what Arin's also trying to say, I don't know if it came across, that when you have a pure oil, even if it's unadulterated, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has the properties and benefits that can be the best from an oil that's sourced in the right place and grown in the right conditions and all that kind of stuff, which we know doTERRA is really, really into making that happen with all their oils. So Priya Advani, sorry, Gabe knows, I don't. I'll let you take this question. Yeah, Priya Advani asks, how about Lang Lang for the heart chakra? I've found that it can really open that chakra. What are your thoughts? Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Any of the flowers really are going to be great for the heart chakra.
Yeah.
We really chose geranium because it's close to rose. Ideally, we would use rose. And we both just have found that geranium is a great heart opener. Geranium also will increase blood flow, which I think then affects the whole heart system. But ylang ylang would be a wonderful one to use, especially if, geranium is going to be like, I need to get blood flowing to my heart and I need to get my heart pumping and working, where ylang ylang is going to be great for if you're having a lot of nervous tension around love and heart opening and you're feeling scared. Ylang ylang is going to be much more calming and soothing, allowing love in. So slightly different, more advanced reasons.
There are kind of aphrodisiac qualities to Lang Lang.
Definitely.
Yeah, which I don't think geranium necessarily has. Maybe.
Geranium can have that as well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Alice Becker asks, what's the benefit of putting geranium in the protein shake? I don't know, but the benefit that I was going for was the flavor. And it's like, if you've ever had a rose flavored creme brulee, that's kind of what my protein shake tasted like. The geranium is awesome in a lot of different foods. It's very flowery, very nasal flavor. So it's high up in the nasal palate there. And I just love it. It's great. And the protein shake was vanilla already. So it was a vanilla geranium. It was wonderful. So just really the benefit was happiness. So.
Okay, so Shaylin Beasley asks, Reiki is amazing along with EOs. Becoming a Reiki master has changed my life. Oh, great. And then Stacy, I can't pronounce the last name.
Stacy Khosravi.
Sorry if we got that wrong, Stacy. Do you recommend anointing in the order you have? Would it be okay to do it from the root chakra moving up? What differences would you affect going each direction?
I don't think it matters too much. I personally would start with the root and move up, just because the chakras kind of work that way. So if your root chakra is off, the other ones aren't going to be as balanced. So working from, it's like you don't want to develop your spiritual and psychic centers before you have food and clothing.
Maybe that's my problem.
Right? Maybe we can have to work with you. So that would be yeah, definitely. I think you're intuitively, Stacy, you're picking that up.
June Halliday said, I added a drop of each to my diffuser, and it's the most beautiful soft blend.
Yay.
We'll have to try that. I'll let you do that one.
Andrea asks, how do you know if a chakra is out of balance? That's a great question. The way to know if a chakra is out of balance is to really help simply understand each of the chakras and their function. And then you can just kind of think about your life. If you have trouble with speaking what's on your mind, or if you're holding back things that you think you should say, but you don't want to be judged or whatever, you might need to work with the throat chakra. If you feel like you can't connect to any kind of spirituality or higher levels of awareness, you might need to work on the crown chakra or even the third eye. If you're having trouble with creating food and shelter and basic necessities in your life, you're going to deal with your root chakra, and you probably have low back pain, so those kinds of things can help. And just physically, like going along with the low back pain, just physically feeling in your body where there's problems can help you identify the root chakra or which chakra you need to work with. Because if a chakra is out of balance and kind of dimming, then it will start to affect the organs and the systems around it. So it's a really easy way to understand, and then you can also just look at somebody's posture. If their heart's really open, their chest is going to be forward, they're going to stand up tall and strong and powerful and supported. If somebody's hunched over, that's sending a different message to the world and to their body. So,
and we could also look at the digestive issues being then connected with the chakra, heart issues being connected with the chakra, when you have a throat irritation connected with the throat chakra. And then there's also when your chakras are overdeveloped. So if you are overdeveloped in your third eye or your crown, you might be someone who just wants to meditate all the time and is overly involved in your spiritual practice. Or maybe you're someone who speaks a lot, maybe too much, and people feel like they can't get a word in with you. Your throat chakra is overactive.
So it sounds like balance is the key. Going for balance. Cool.
So Dalia says, would you be able to use rose for all the chakras? I think that would be wonderful. This is really about your intuition too. We didn't use any science to pick these oils. It was our experience and our intuition. So go ahead and make your own chakra balancing protocol. I
would just say for you, Dalia, that rose is one of the highest vibrational oils. So its energy frequency is really high vibration. So it might not necessarily, I don't know what it will do, but it's like, if you think about the root chakra is the lowest vibration, putting rose on the root chakra, I don't know what it'll do. But that's just interesting to think about. Root chakra is low vibration, rose is really high vibration. So
I would experiment. Let us know.
Yeah.
You can take that one.
Melissa Braun asks, would there be any value to making a blend with all 7 oils in a roller bottle and applying it that way? And I'd say absolutely. I think that's a great thing to do. Before this webinar, I actually just in my hand put a drop of every single oil, mixed those together, and then just did the front of my body and the back of my body as best as I could. So yeah, I would go for it. And then you can just have them all with you, and you can be working on strengthening all of the chakras. But I would encourage you to try to identify for yourself, Melissa, what chakras you need specific help with. And then, because that all of them together is going to be more of like strengthening. But if you have one that's really out of balance, you might need to work on the other ones if that one chakra is way overactive. Or if you have a chakra that's underactive, you might need to just work on strengthening that one. So, but I definitely think go for a blend of all 7 would be great. Yeah.
Another thing we do is, you know, the little keychains that you can get with the bottles in them. We fill those up with the oils diluted, and then we have a chakra kit with us at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And for the wellness advocates out there, that's a great host gift. If someone hosts a class, you can give them a chakra keychain.
Yeah.
What about abundance? Andrea says, what chakra is that connected to?
So, you know, when all the chakras are working in balanced harmony, of course, that's going to be the most abundant. But I definitely think that a lot of abundance comes from the solar plexus. And especially working with that wild orange oil is the oil of abundance, in my opinion. It's definitely all about abundance. And, you know, historically, orange trees and oranges were something that only the wealthy had. And so having oranges around was a sign of affluence and wealth. There's even in feng shui practices, there's even ceremonies to anoint your house with orange peels. And they're definitely about abundance. So I would say work with that wild orange oil is the best way to help with abundance. It's one way. And then just having a balance, all 7 chakras in balance is going to help you, because if you think about, if you have tons of abundance in your root chakra in your life, so you might have tons of shelter and tons of food and tons of support that way. But if you don't have an open heart with love coming in and going out, then what kind of abundance can you create? You know, a different kind. So you want to have a balance. But yeah.
Well, it also brings up too, like if we're talking about abundance in the strict realm of financial abundance, you could have financial abundance, but if your heart wasn't open, who cares, right? Or you could have financial abundance, but if your spiritual connection wasn't there, who cares? So I just love that, thinking about abundance in all realms,
yeah,
and all the chakras.
Yeah. I would say abundance is enough time, enough money, enough love, enough sex, enough food.
Mm-hmm.
All those things add up to abundance.
So we want to show you 2 books that we use to create this webinar. Let's bring those over. One is specific to essential oils, and it's called Chakra Wellness Made Simple by Connie Boucher, and this is on aroma tools.
And the other one is The Essential Guide to Chakras. So it's not essential oil specific, it's just about chakras in a lot of detail. And there's a lot of information in this book for some of these questions. You can get in a little bit deeper with learning how to strengthen different chakras, targeting which ones are out of balance, figuring out how to work with them. So that's all in here. And this book is by Swami Saradananda, The Essential Guide to Chakras. And it's great. It's got lots of images and lots of facts and great stuff.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that's it. So we really enjoyed being with you this morning and sharing our wisdom on essential oils and chakras. We have some webinars that are pre-recorded. You can go and listen to: cleaning with essential oils, non-toxic cleaning, essential oils for animals, and we're going to have essential oils for athletes coming up here soon. So get connected on jasmineandjuniper.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, our texting service, get registered for the webinars, and email us if you have any questions or you want to get started with doTERRA.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. And as they say in India, namaste.
Namaste.